Guys, look how beautiful this bike is, man. Just look at this, guys. I wish you guys would have seen my red and white one I had. But this is modern, man. My red and white one had the 81 shovel head engine. No matter what I did to it, it leaked oil. This one here doesn't leak any oil. See, the modern Harleys, guys, they don't leak oil. You guys do know that, don't you? The modern Harleys, they're not like the old Harleys. This Harley Davidson here that I have the camera sitting on, it doesn't have a petcock valve because it has electronic ignition. It has a glasses case have fallen. It has electronic throttle body. I think all I know is it's all automatic. So I found out about my pension. I am getting a pension. The company I used to work for, they had what's called a basic pension, where they put so much into it. I'll get that when I retire. It's something. It's like $18,000. It's not much money. I could either get that in installments or one lump sum. Naturally, if I get one lump sum, they'll take taxes out of it. I think they're going to take taxes out of it anyway. So, if I take it in payments, I'll get maybe another $300 extra a month, which will help. Because other than that, we just get Social Security. Well, that's what we'll be getting when I retire. My Social Security it'll only be like $1,500 a month, maybe $1,700 a month. It depends when I retire. So that extra $300 will help. And with the new company, they don't have a basic pension, but they have a 401k plan, which I'm signed up for, which I'm putting money in that. I had a 401 and a 403k plan with the other company that got bought out. That money, they're sending it to me. I requested them to send it. It's not much. I think it's only like $1,500 because I started putting I never put money into that until I think like October. Because I didn't expect them to fold. So when I heard news they were going to be bought out, that they were basically selling us down the river, I said to myself, well, you know what? Let me start putting some money into this. Maybe I'll get something back. That's why it's only like $1,500. And I had to go through hell and high water, guys, to get that, because I was never given a password or a username to get into the website to see how much money I had. When I would click on the link from work, it would automatically go into it. So I had to call India. When you call these companies, they're outsourced to either India or Pakistan. Okay, 99% of the time they're outsourced to India. So you call India. You're talking to someone you're talking to somebody in India that has your personal information. They got your Social Security number, they got your birth date, they got your driver's license, your address, your name, your wife's Social Security number. With these people in another country, I don't know what they're going to do with this information. Scares the hell out of me. And you can barely they try to sound English, and they give you a bogus English name. Like their name is Tom. I know your name ain't Tom. I don't care what your name is. Just try to speak like I don't even care, guys. They're from India. I'm not knocking someone from. I'm not knocking them because they're from India. Okay, don't get me wrong. I don't do nothing like that. I'm not into knocking people. But at least talk so I can understand you a little bit. So I called them up. They didn't know a damn thing about what the hell is going on with my 401 and 403k. They didn't know nothing. And since I tried getting into it, I locked the account up because I was never given a username or a password. So I locked the account up, of course. So here this morning, I looked at my email. Here is a link to go into the retirement website. And boom, 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 went right on it. I was able to follow the directions to have the check mailed to me. So that money will come in handy. You know, me and my wife Amy, man, we're praying to God Trump doesn't cancel her disability, guys. She has these diabetic pills. They're called glipizide. They're $600 a month. With our insurance, they're only $30 a month. If he cancels her disability, there is no way I'll be able to pay that. Okay, and she needs this medication for her diabetes. There is no way I could pay that, let alone all the rest of the bills that like take us going to a doctor. So right now we're really watching what this man is doing. See, you young people out there that are backing him up, you're all for him cleaning the country up. You're not in this situation, okay? You're not paying no bills. You dumped all that in your mom and dad's lap, okay? You're just skating. You're just shining right by on them. You're not paying no property tax. You're not buying no groceries. You might go out. Maybe you'll buy some Swisher Sweets to roll your joint in, to roll your blunt in. That's about the only thing you're buying. I know you ain't helping them. You're not giving them nothing for rent. You're not giving them no money for food. You're dang sure ain't giving them no money for property tax. And you don't have medication you got to buy. And you're not going to see a doctor every 6 months. You know, where they're sticking the needles in you here. Oh, I'm like, I can't get it. Let me stick it in here. Oh, no, okay. Let's stick it in your hand then. That's where we can see the veins. You don't have to go to a doctor's office, so you don't care about health insurance. You don't have a wife that's disabled, okay, that literally is relying on Medicare. So you don't care what this man cancels. But it affects people like us very gravely. It'll ruin us. Because I don't make the money to pay. I don't make the money to pay for medication like that. I'm not going to even go into that. I'm going to try not to be political. But let me tell you guys something, man. Do you understand why I don't vote now? You understand why the homie here don't vote no more? Why should I vote when it's crooked as all as hell? The last time I voted for a president was in 1977. I haven't voted since, and I am not voting in the future because the vote does not count, as you've seen in this last election. I'm 100% sure those votes were electronically manipulated. I'll give you a perfect example. Then I want to tell you something I learned about my big dog. Around here, everybody around here is for Biden and Harris. Okay? Trump won this area. That's how I know those votes were electronically manipulated. All right, what I found out about the big dog. I don't know if you guys remember that chrome housing that was around the battery. My bike was the only one that had that. It was a chromed stainless steel housing that went around the battery, where the battery is in electronics. I've looked at hundreds of other big dogs of that year. Even like a even a 2005 and a half, 2006. I even tried 2006 and a half. I looked at 2007s. Mine was a 2006. There's not one Ridgeback that has that chrome stainless steel electronic housing. This is what I found out. The guy that owned the bike, he had the plastic ones that go on the side, like all the other big dogs have. I think they're either made out of plastic or fiberglass. His vibrated off. They fell off. So he had custom made ones made out of stainless steel. That's why no other big dog had them. That's what I found out. The original plastic ones that went around the battery, they fell off along with the horn. And he had someone make the custom enclosure out of polished stainless steel, which looked like chrome, but it was polished stainless steel. I also ordered Guardian bells. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a Gremlin bell, or they're called Gremlin bells or Guardian bells. I'm going to put one on the Harley and I'm putting one on the Jeep. Let me see what else happened. Oh yeah, I got a little chip in my windshield on the Jeep. I have no idea where it came from, but I'm gonna try a repair kit on that, guys. I want to make a video of that, and I'm going to try it either tomorrow or Friday. We're supposed to have weather going up to 50 degrees here. Finally, we're finally coming out of an Arctic freeze where it was like 20 degrees below zero here. And my sister, I haven't heard from her. I probably won't. So you know, guys, let me tell you something, man, about that. You know, if you have like an ex-wife or a father, mother that disowned you, even, you know, they are their own person. Okay, they have their right to feel the way they do. The one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to tell her off, because I think that's what she wants. I think that's what she's always wanted. She always wanted for me to tell her off. That way she could no longer have anything to do with me, and that'll release her from me guilt-free. And I'm not doing that. So what I've elected to do is I'm forgetting about them like they forgot about me. My nephew probably had the baby. He probably had his baby by now, and I wouldn't have been included in seeing the baby anyway. That's how rotten they are to me. And I've done nothing to these people, guys. What my sister doesn't know, in this house that I'm in, my sister was in the kitchen with the children when they were around like 6 to 8 years old with her two kids. And I was coming up the steps, and there's a door that separates the steps from the kitchen. The door was closed. They were on the other side of the door, so I'm walking up the steps, and I could hear them talking. I stop on the top step, and my sister said to her children, "I don't want you treating Grandma and Grandpa like Uncle Vincey's treating them." That's what I heard. So this is how far back she's turned those children against me. All because this house went to me and not her. That's what it's all because of. Meanwhile, her husband is a retired child psychologist. His mother was a judge. He has a lot of money from her. And their home's worth $500,000. But she wanted this one too. That way she could have paid her bills off and probably went on a nice vacation over to Italy and threw me and my wife out and my dogs out in the street. You know, guys, God has dealt me a very hard hand of cards. Very tough. I've had a very tough life when it comes to socializing with people. When I was in school, I was tormented. I was literally tormented. I grew up with fear from my very first day in kindergarten. My very first day, after about 1 hour, my first day in kindergarten, I remember these two kids started fighting. Two African American kids started fighting. And they were talking about 4 or 5-year-old kids. I mean, they really started going at it with each other. So the principal came in. Her name was Mrs. Nixon. She probably weighed like 80 pounds wet. That's probably what she paid. You know, she was African American also, but she probably weighed like at 80 pounds less. Now, the reason why I'm telling you the race of these people is this is part of the fear that I grew up with. My grade school was it was probably 90, maybe 95% African American because it was in an urban area of Pittsburgh. So 1 hour, my very first day in kindergarten, they start fighting. So I thought to myself, well, if they're treating each other like that, what are they going to do to me? So the fear started. And from there on, I literally got tormented. I was stabbed in the hand with a pencil. I had books smashed over my head, chairs smashed over my head. I was beat up going to school, beat up coming home, beat up into school, go to the bathroom, beat up in the bathroom, beat up in gym, beat up outside in the yard during gym class. Then I was, about 12 years old? That's when I got face slammed down to the sidewalk by, I'm not going to say African American male, but he was. You know, I'm not saying that I'm racist against these people, but I have to be specific of what's going on. He was a senior in high school. I seen him coming. I seen him running down the sidewalk. I'm thinking, now this is after all the trauma I've already been through, like 6, 7 years of grade school. So I seen him coming down the sidewalk. So I instantly thought to myself, well, if I go on the other side of the street, he's gonna see I'm scared of him. So I showed him that I trust him. I left my back to him. Next thing I knew, felt his hand on the back of my head. Bam! Face first down on the concrete. Knocked my front teeth out. And you know, guys, if I had a child, man, if I had a little boy or a little girl, and that would happen to them, I would not send them back to that school. But that's what my mother and father did. They sent me back to that school. So I'm already traumatized by all the bullying and tormenting I got. On top of that, I was like ultra tormented and scared to freaking death to go back to that place. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is I was raised with fear. When a little kid is raised in fear, they become like that. And it's always with you. Always. It's with me right now. And there's no changing it. There is no changing it. You know, I'm lucky this didn't make me a psychopath. Now, my only sibling is totally rotten to me. Her children are totally rotten to me. I don't exist in their minds. Okay? They couldn't care if I was dead or alive. And it does not bother me no more. Because I've lost all love for them. That's why I'm telling you this right now. I'm making it public that I have no feelings for them whatsoever. I don't care what happens to them. You get like this when this is done to you for 30 plus years. As for the African American people, my best friend was African American. Okay, my girlfriend in grade school was African American. So because I'm talking about them doesn't mean I'm a racist. I like to refer to African American people as Black Americans because they deserve to be treated like an American. Just cross your fingers, guys, and pray to God this man does not cancel my wife's disability. Because I'll probably lose my motorcycle. I won't be able to afford to pay the motorcycle, and I'll probably lose the Jeep as well. Because that money will have to go toward her medication. And I won't be able to afford my payment on the Jeep or the motorcycle. So, yeah, my Gremlin bells should be in. I'm not going to do a video on the Gremlin bells, but I'd like to do a video when I repair my windshield. I want to show you guys the before and after. So, all right, guys, take care. They're laying in the snow. Kita. That's what they like to do. What are you doing? She got her ball, her football, her bag, one of her little toys. That's what she does, guys. She brings all her little buddies out here, all the little stuffed animals I bought her. She got this one over here. That one's frozen in the ground. Rabbits around the corner. Oh man, I gotta put a fence up for her this year. I gotta expand the yard here a little bit more for her. Another thing I gotta do is I have to put an element in this gutter. I gotta put an element in here, guys. I was gonna do it last year. I never got around to doing it. Working hooking her chicken breast. And there's more of it over here. She's not gonna eat all this. This will last her a couple of days. So since chicken's real high right now, these are 5 pounds. These are $13.99 a piece, and that's considered cheap. Eggs are, I think the eggs are $7.99 for a 12-pack. Yeah, the chicken's about $5 a pound. Now, those are what, $13.99 for 5 pounds. What is that? Something like $3 or something. There you can see all my little ducks, guys. I also got the Hard Rock decals for it too. I don't know if you can see that on the side. Yeah, but my buying goodies stuff, guys, is over, man. As long as that man's in office, or at least for the next 3 years. You know, I'm not making any more big purchases. I'm not buying no more guns. I still have my guns. I haven't sold them. I'm saving the guns until I absolutely have to sell them, because the guns are like gold. You can always get money for guns. I don't know what that tyrant is going to try to do. Yeah, guns are like gold, guys. You can always, I mean, you're not going to get what you paid for them, but you'll get at least half of what you paid for them. You know, that's why I've always said, if you buy a gun, don't buy a cheap gun. You know, it's better to get a gun that's a little expensive, in case if you sell it, at least you'll get something back. You know, it's like if you buy an AR-15, if you buy a cheap AR-15, I think they have AR-15s for like $500. Okay. The place I deal with, if they buy a $500 AR-15 off you, they're going to sell it for $400. Because first of all, it's used. Even if it's new, it's still used for them. Okay, and so they're going to give you they'll give you a couple $100 for it, which, you know, it's no money. So if you buy an AR-15, you have to buy an AR-15 that's at least $1,000 or a $1,500 AR-15. Okay, preferably the Colt. It has to be a brand name. You know, so if you buy a Colt for around $1,400 and $1,500, as long as it's in real good shape, the barrel's not shot out, they'll sell it for like $1,300, and you'll get about $600, maybe $650, and that's actually top dollar in any gun shop. Some gun shops won't even give you 50%; they'll give you like 30%. So that's why I've always told people, if you buy a firearm, number one, get a brand name, and don't get it nothing cheap. Because if you have to sell that, you're not going to get nothing. You're not going to get nothing back. But my days of buying guns, guys, for right now, they're over. My Jeep payment is a lot more than my Cadillac was. And like I said, with this guy in office, I don't know what he's liable to do. And I'm pretty sure that's how a lot of other people are too. That's why everyone's going to hold on to their money now, especially after this latest escapade he tried to do, shutting the federal government down, shutting all spending down. You don't know what he's liable to do. So what do you think people are going to do? People are going to think like me. They're going to hold on to their money. They're not going to spend nothing. So what's going to happen is the economy going to spiral downhill now. That's what's going to happen. All you young lads and all you young gals live with your mom and dad. You don't. This is all a big joke to you. You probably get a big laugh out of him because he's entertaining. Well, see, that doesn't pay the bills. Okay. Having someone in office like that has a bunch of flags behind them, a bunch of these all-American colors, and preaching those all-Americans, that doesn't pay the bills. Okay, that does not do nothing to help you. That doesn't do nothing to help you. You need a person in there that's going to say, "Hey, I know insurance on cars are high. I know the insurance companies are trying to push the safety apps, the safe driving apps. We're going to put an end to that. We're going to make insurance affordable. We're going to bring people back on the assembly line because I know the AI, computers, and the robots took the jobs in manufacturing. We're going to bring the person back on the assembly line. That's what helps you. Not someone with a bunch of flags behind them with this and we're going to make America great again. We're doing this. We're going to do that. You don't pay bills, so you don't know what's going on. You don't pay taxes. You don't need to buy heart medication or blood pressure medication. But you will someday, and you're going to understand what I'm talking about. And you're going to know what your mommy and daddy are going through. And I don't make much compared to a lot of people out there. I'm actually what I make is below a living wage. And most of the people out there they make 80,000 over. A lot of people make over $100,000 a year, and their car payments like $1,500 a month. Their mortgages maybe 3 or 4 or 5,000 a month, and they got more to lose. They got more on the line. Okay, so these are modern sporting guns, guys. We're going to go immediately to Colt. Okay. Okay, let's set this down. So, this one here, that is goodbye. This one here that's in 5.56. Let me see. This one here, this isn't bad, but I would get the $1,500 one over this. This is in 7.6239. I wouldn't get that with this gun. That's considered un-American by a lot of people. This one here, this is the Colt M5. This is a $2,000 gun. This would be a good buy right here. Now this is a little too much. I don't know if I'd pay that. Why is this so high? That must be a muzzle brake it has on, or a flash rider. Let me see. Other brands. What else we have here? Armor Light is also good. They're also expensive too. Look at this. They're all out of stock. Unbelievable. What's everyone buying? The AR-15s up again. That's what happened during the pandemic. Let me see if the bond is established. Now they're buying the ones in at 5.56. That's what they're doing. I wouldn't even buy a Smith and Wesson. I'd go straight for the Colts guys. Or let me see. Hold on. See, I wouldn't buy a cheap AR-15 like this. You know, don't waste your money on this, guys. It's a good gun, but you know, if you have to resell it, you're not going to get nothing. This one here isn't bad. I'd buy this. That's not bad. Springfield. That's another cheap one. That doesn't even come with a magazine. Crazy. Here, let's do this. Let's put 5,000 in. Look at this. These are out of stock. 8,200, 8,000 bucks, and they're out of stock. They're bought out. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. People, I think what people do is they get those on a credit card because they're scared of what's going to happen now. And you're going to watch how ammunition is going to start being hard to get again. Now, since I'm talking about guns and politics, I'm probably not going to be allowed to monetize this video. This is a good gun right here. And it's also highly expensive too. That's out of my ballpark. You know, if you could afford the ones for 3,300 bucks, get that. Because you know, you'll get at least $1,600 or $1,700 back if you have to sell that. If like you're in a, if you need money, if you're in a tough spot, you know, you can. The one thing about Sportsman Warehouse is they have a credit card where you can buy guns with. You know, you can buy guns with any credit card, but they have, it's called Explore Reward Card. And right now they're literally giving credit to everybody. That's how I started buying my guns, with those credit cards, which I paid it off. I bought some more, and now I'm getting close to paying it off again. Like I said, guys, I wouldn't buy those cheap AR-15s that are like $479. Because a gun shop, they're going to sell them for maybe 350, maybe 379. So you're going to be lucky they give you $150. So, all right, yeah, I'll make another video when I do that, the chip I have on my windshield.